What's up, guys? This is Will from Table the Game, and today I'm going to go over my top 3 picks for Gamefound crowdfunding for January 2026. Now here's how I pick my games. Is number 1, it's either a game that I'm really excited about. Number 2, it could be a publisher that I really like, or sometimes there may be an indie publisher that I want to help. That maybe it looks like a great game, and maybe a brand new publisher, but I really like to try to help them when I can. So let's get into it. I have 3 games that I'm excited about, and let's take a look at them. All right, the first game we're going to look at is The Last in the Woods by Blackthorn Games. I believe this is their very first game, so I'm excited to see what they're doing here. This is a card-driven game. It is a game where you are going out in the woods and you have to survive. The last person to do so is going to win, and you're going to be exploring, gathering resources, and creating different tools to be able to do this. So let's get into the game a little bit. Right now, it has 5 days and 16 hours to go. It has this is in euros, but 7,504. They've passed their funding goal, which is great. They've unlocked some stretch goals. So let's go over a little bit about it. It is a 1 to 4 player game, but I believe they have unlocked a 5th player. It is a 30-minute game at 10 plus, so it's a fairly simple. 10 plus is a great, easy game to learn. 30 minutes, you can get it to the table quickly. And they did provide a rule book, so let's take a look at it real quick. All right, so this is a 4-player game set up in the rule book, and so if you're interested in this game, take a look at this and see what you think. Okay, so each game you're going to have, like here in the number 1 location, you're going to grab either randomly or everyone choose a character. Each character has some asymmetric abilities. So what I like about that is each game is going to play a little different depending on which character you have. You're going to have a health track that has lives to it. So every time you make different choices, you may lose a life. Once you've lost all your health, you're done for, and you're not going to win this game. All right, number 2 and number 3 is the exploration deck. So as you explore, you're going to gather resources, and those resources, you're going to create these tools, which is in number 4. Now that you can gather one of each of these throughout the game, but you can only have one. So what that means is you can't have 2 axes, you can't have 2 campfires. You don't need that. So you can only do one. You can gather all of them, but you can only get one of each. So that's going to help you to survive. All right, now then there is an event deck, number 5 here. So every round you're going to place an event down. Those events are going to cause problems for you, and are just different things that are going to take place. So in this game, you have 3 actions that you get to do on your turn, and you have 6 to choose from. So let's go over them real quick. So number 1 is you are eating. You have to do this once per round or you lose a life. Also, drinking is the same way. You have to do this once per round or you lose a life. And so what I really like about that is you have to decide, okay, do I do other things that are going to help me gather more things or get more stuff that I'm going to need? But by doing that, I'm going to lose a life, or do I play it safe? Those decisions, I'm guessing, are extremely really cool in this game. Then the third thing you can do is explore. So you explore to be able to gather resources. And then as you gather enough resources, you get to craft equipment. And that equipment's going to help you to survive. Then you can trade resources with the bank. And then you can light a campfire with flint. So those are the 6 actions to choose from. You get to do 3 of them. And that decision you have to make on what to do, I'm sure, is really interesting. All right, so let's go over what's in the box here. So you're going to have 8 different characters. I think they unlocked some more characters. So like I said, they're all asymmetrical. So the more characters that they are able to provide, the more replayability this game may have. There's 40 equipment cards that you can get, and there's 22 events that may take place. You're going to have these different tokens here as well, and there's 53 exploration cards. All right, let's go over the different pledge levels here. You have the base game at $25 or 25 euros. They are anticipating this game to be delivered in May of 2026. Guys, even a seasoned publisher, I'm not expecting it to come in May. I look at this like a goal. If they're able to do it, great. If not, I totally understand. All right, the next level here is a print and play version. Now, this is coming in February, so that tells me they expect the mechanics and the artwork to be completely finished in February, and then from there go to the factory to start actually producing the game. That's my guess. All right, now here's what's cool about this. If you either don't want to spend the money for shipping or just the game in general, if it's not something you're interested in, but you want to give it a shot, this is a great pledge level. Or B, if it's you do want to help a publisher out that's trying to get into this industry, that'd be cool as well. But that's there, $10 print and play. If you really are excited about this game or just want to get a game for yourself and maybe a friend or loved one, you can save $10 and buy 2 of them for $40. All right, guys, so unlocked stretch goals. So there is a cooperative mode that they have developed. That's pretty cool. They have upgraded it to a 5-player game. There is 2 new characters. So they had 8. I'm guessing that means there's 10 characters, and there is 4 new events. So they have included a solo mode with this unlocked stretch goal. You can add on to the game with a special characters, Gamefound edition, and wooden tokens, which in my opinion, I guess that means that's kind of like their deluxe version. They don't have an official deluxe version, but if you want the metal tokens, or I'm sorry, if you want the wooden tokens, I guess that would be their version of the deluxe version. Okay, about this game, they are saying it's a very thematic game, which is really important for me when I play a game. That is almost one of my most important aspects, that the theme and the mechanics are going hand in hand. So what that tells me is if I'm playing this game, I am feeling as if I am in the woods on my last leg, needing to survive. So I don't know how good of a feeling that is, but I'm just messing around. So unpredictable events. So those event cards are going to create some havoc for you, and you're not going to know what's going to happen next, which is going to make the game. You're going to have to do things on the fly and change maybe your strategy in this game. Of course, the unique characters, there's 10 of them now, I think, and therefore they can change at any time. Every time you pick a new character, you have a different ability, weaknesses, and strengths that you have to deal with. And then the replayability. With the event decks, the asymmetric characters, you are going to have a replayable game if it's something that you enjoy. All right, so let's go over shipping. Shipping has just become, in my opinion, a major problem. It's getting more and more expensive. So this is in euros. So they are from the Czech Republic here, and so if you are local to that country, you're going to pay €5. Now, in the different, and I don't know all these abbreviations here, but in Europe, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, it goes from 9, 13 and a half, 15, 16, 18 and a half dollars. So it gets kind of expensive even there. Outside of Europe is 26 and 34. So the U.S. and the U.S. here is €34. Now, I really appreciate this, is that they said here that the shipping costs are extremely high, and that's why they offered the print and play version. So guys, if the shipping is scaring you away, because it is a lot, the shipping going to like where I am in the US is more than the game itself. Okay, so if you want to help them out, definitely look at the print and play version. All right, guys, that was The Last in the Woods. If you're interested, head to Gamefound. You have 15 days from the filming of this video to back this game. All right, this is Small Time Heroes. This is the reprint and expansion for Solo Game of the Month. Gabe Barrett is the owner and publisher. He's also designed some of these games. So one thing about this company is I've backed a lot of their games because number one is I really wanted to start getting into solo games last year. And so, hey, what better way to get into solo games is to buy a game that's the only way you can play. And I think this game actually can play up to 2 players. Now, but this is a reprint, but also an expansion. And this is what's cool about this. I've been watching this company. I think it was like last year is they started creating these solo games a month. Maybe it was the year before. And this is the first expansion that they have made. So congratulations. And also, I think this can play up to 2 players. So this is also maybe the first 2-player game in this genre of solo game of the month. So I don't know how that works, but here we go. So this is a deck building game where you are a hero, and there's some bad guys coming to try to take over your town, and you got to take care of business. Okay, now this game is about to end in 7 days from the filming of this video. So when you see this, you may only have a little bit of time. I do believe there'll be a pledge manager, but you want to take a look at it as quickly as possible. So this company has really started to see a lot of uptake in what they're selling. So I've been watching this a long time, and what I usually see is around 50 to 75, $80,000. I think the first campaign hit the $80,000 mark, and this one's at 154,000. I don't know if this is the best campaign that they've done, but it is very successful. A lot of people really like this game. It just looks like a lot of fun. Right, so it is a 1 to 2 player game. It's 60 minutes and it's 14 plus. So one thing about these games is they're not simple. They're not really simple. They take some time to learn them, and it's so you're not just going to get in there and learn the game in 5 minutes. There is some learning curve to this game, so just be prepared for that. If you want a stretch pay, then you can definitely choose that, so that way you can pay it over time. That's one thing I really love about Gamefound is you don't have to just pay for it all at one time. That's also what I don't like about Gamefound too. Anyway, I'm just messing around. All right, so as evil approaches, you are the only heroes left. So what's cool about it is every one of these games, there are different heroes and there's different bad guys, enemies, and you get to decide, okay, which hero are you going to use and what enemy you're going to use, and there's different difficulty levels to all of them. All right, so let's go over the expansion. It's called Spirit and Spells. And you get 2 more heroes, and there's 4 more bosses or bad guys. So let's go over the heroes. You got the Wizard. So his complexity is 2 out of 3. So the Wizard has an animated teddy bear that fights with him. But what's cool about it is the teddy bear cannot be damaged, and the Wizard can go in the front and the back, and so he can shield himself from damage. And so it's really how you position yourself in the game. So the next one is the Cleric, and that is a complexity of 3 out of 3. So the Cleric is a glass cannon focused on managing wrath, shifting between being righteous for increased damage or wrathful, where healing turns into damage. So it's a little back and forth there. These are the 2 new heroes that you have. All right, so let's go over the bosses here. So the first one is the Puppeteer. He has a difficulty of 1 out of 3. So he uses marionettes to kind of move around the board, and they bring strength for him. And they also have guard. The second one is the Slime Lord. He has a difficulty of 2 out of 3. So he has minions that he brings. He eats them, and that ends up giving him powers. The third one is the Nothing. So this is kind of crazy, okay? This is a difficulty 2 out of 3. So this dude is going and stealing memories, and so as he does that, he is converting those memories into strength. It's pretty crazy. I'm really interested to take a look and see kind of what he does. It's a cool mechanism. The last one is the Prince of Darkness. And so he has imps. These imps they block. It's a blocking mechanism, and he has a difficulty of 3 out of 3. So he's pretty tough. All right, so this game is $39. Now I'm going to tell you, we're going to go over the original game, the reprint. They do say if you're just getting into this, go ahead and get the original reprint first if you're not going to get both of them. That's what they say. These games are interchangeable. They are standalone games, but they also can interchange. You can use the bosses from the other game, and you can use the heroes. You can mix and match and do different things like that. All right, and a lot of the reviews are really good about this game. They are comparing this game to Slay the Spire, and some people have said that this game is better than that. So it seems like a really cool game. All right, now here is the original game. This is Sword and Shadow. So this is what came out a year ago. And this comes with the warrior, has a complexity of 1 out of 0. So you're just coming in here, and she has coming in here with a sword. She's going to come destroy some stuff. She has armor and weapons, and she's just going to be unstoppable. Okay. Then you have the rogue. I really think this is going to be a cool hero. So this is a complexity of 2 out of 3. And so the rogue is trying to hide. And if you're able to hide, that's where she has more power to stay hidden. And she manipulates the cost of cards. So I just really think out of all of the different heroes, she looks the coolest. And I'm interested to see what she's capable of. Let's go over the bosses in this game here. So you got the Houndmaster. His difficulty is 1 out of 0. So as the Houndmaster stays alive, he becomes more powerful as the battle progresses. So you got to take this guy out, or he's going to become problems for you. All right, the next boss is the Goblin King. He has a difficulty of 2 out of 3. And so what he does is he loves explosions. And so he has bombs that is going to clog your deck. And that they're just going to cause problems for you. So you got to get him out as soon as you can. All right, the Guardian. So this is a giant being. And so he has all these different body parts that you're attacking individually. So that's kind of interesting. You may be able to defeat some of him, but it's impossible that he can come back and mess you up. So you got to get him gone as well. And then the last one is the Necromancer. So he takes all the minions and turns them into zombies. And so these create, they block your attack. The more zombies that there are, so I'm sure he can just become a major problem. And he has a difficulty of 3 out of 3. So he's the hardest one to defeat. All right, so this one is also $39. This is Sword and Shadow. So if you guys have not backed the original campaign, which is this one, this is the one they suggest, the owner, the publisher, he suggests to back this one if you're going to get just the one. All right, and so same thing. You get a warrior deck at 67 cards. There's 2 of them, and the bosses are 24 cards apiece in this one. You have an intent deck. And a little bit more about that, I didn't really touch on it before, is I believe every time it's time for battle, you're going to place this intent deck, which is going to show you, where the minions are and what's going on. Sometimes I think you can kind of understand what's going to happen, so you can anticipate what's going to happen in the battle. And sometimes it's completely a surprise. So you got to be able to think on your feet. You have the enemy health cards, and then of course the reward deck and the potion deck to kind of help with the deck building side of things. All right, guys. So some add-ons is the neoprene mats and dowels. It's $24. You get 2 mats. It's one of those things. I've really come to enjoy neoprene mats and buying these. The only thing I don't like about buying these is I like to keep everything in my game in one box, and you can't do that. You have to store these separately. Or I'm assuming all the other games I've backed with the mats, you have to store them separately. All right, and then the dials, of course, here, the 7 health dials. All right, guys, so a little bit about how to play is, number 1, you're going to select your heroes and bosses, and that way you can decide kind of what's going to happen on your turn. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to draw 5 cards, and you're going to use 3 energy to play your cards, and then, just like in a deck building game, once you play your 5 cards, you're going to then get the next 5 cards that you're going to use for your hand. And number 3 is you're going to reveal the intent card. So this is going to tell you exactly what's going to happen at this battle, and then you're going to activate the enemy. And then number 4 is you're going to battle until the foes are vanquished. So this is kind of what they say. This is the gameplay loop. You're just going to keep on going through this until you either win or lose. And then number 5 is you're going to level up and gain rewards. So as you start defeating bosses, you're going to get stronger. You're going to get stuff. Like you're going to be able to add, I think, the potions and the different the benefited cards that you get. That's going to just help you get stronger to be able to do more in this game. All right, the campaign does come with a rule book. So if you're interested, head to Gamefound and take a look at it. See if this game is for you. All right, let's go look at the pledges. There's some videos here as well that if you want to look, there's all kinds of videos. Like I said, this is a very popular game. This may be one of the most popular games that they have created, possibly. All right, guys, here we go. So the first pledge you can do is both. If you don't have any of the games and you want to get just everything they have, you can get it for $78. They are telling you it's going to come May of 2026. Now, I cannot tell you for sure. I've backed a lot of their games. I have like 4 or 5 of their games. They're small. They come, I think, pretty good. I think they're very good at getting the games to you when they say. I haven't gone over this yet, but if you want to do a stretch pay, this is for $15 a month until it's paid off. I don't know how many payments exactly, but you can get it for $15 a month and get both games. All right, now they offer a print and play version, so this is another way. This is a small publishing company. They have made a lot of games, but they're making solo small box games, and so if you want to help them out and you don't want to buy the entire game, maybe give that a shot. That would be a blessing. All right, the neoprene mats like we talked about, $24, and each one, if you just individually want to buy them, you can do the sword and shadow for $39, or the new expansion spirit and spells for $39. Like I said, these are both standalone games, so you can get one or the other. All right, let's go over shipping. So what I really like about the business model of this company is they ship these games directly from the factory to you. They don't go to some kind of fulfillment center, and so shipping is really inexpensive. The single game, $7. Both games, 12. Mats and dowels, $5. Can't beat that. That is very inexpensive to get the game to the front door. I don't think there's a campaign out there that is this cheap, but they are small games, to be fair. All right, real quick, let's go over the designer. Now, I'm going to probably mess up all the names. I'm horrible about this, but Drew Corkill is the game designer. Matthias Amon is the developer, and the art is by Kendra Hino Josa. Totally probably messed up everybody's names, but that's that. That is Small Time Heroes from Solo Game of the Month. All right, the last game on the list is Baktor Explore Fight Evolve by Fox Troll Games. This game is not launched yet. I'm extremely excited about it. Let's dig into it. So it is 3 days, 13 hours, 55 minutes, and 37 seconds from the filming of this video. There is 11,000 people following this game, so I'm pretty sure this is probably going to be the biggest campaign on this list. All right, so let's go over a little bit about this game, what excites me about it, but also let's start off with maybe the negative side is this game interests me, but what's weird about it is it's not a game that usually draws my attention. Maybe because it's January, maybe because there's not a lot of games out there, but there's a couple things that I really, really think is going to be cool about this game. Number one, it's a 1 to 6 player game, so you can play with one person, you can play with a lot of people. Okay, it's 60 minutes. Okay, so that's one of the things that I really like about it, is that's kind of a sweet spot. I actually like a game that's an hour and a half to 2 hours, but 60 minutes nowadays is really nice. That way you can get it to the table, and a lot of times it's probably going to take a little longer than that, but it's not taking up too much time, and so you can either play another game or multiple games, or if that you only have time for that, that's it. It's 10 plus, so it is on the lighter side, but hey, it may be cool. This game reminds me a lot of Clank. I don't know if it's anything like Clank, but it's a dungeon crawling game, and so I don't think it's a deck building game like Clank, but I don't know. It just reminds me, just looking at the pictures, looking at what you're doing, it kind of reminds me a little bit about it. All right, so let's go over exactly what makes this game a little different, or why you should back this game if you want. Being a 60-minute game, you start off with your characters, and they start evolving quickly. So in the mechanisms of this game, as you're traveling through like the dungeon crawling aspect of the game, as you're facing foes and winning, you're going to level up quickly. And so in that respect, kind of like an engine building game, you're going to start off in some way, and your character is going to get powerful really quick. Every session is standalone. So, you're going to start over again. Next time you play, your character is going to start over, but you're going to get powerful really quickly. And so I love that. It's that you're not trying super hard, and you don't have to go through all these different steps to get to where you're actually making something happen. That's going to happen quickly in this game because it is a short game. All right. So this was a big one. 5 minutes to teach the rules. And so I'm really enjoying those type of games nowadays. That tells me that you can get into this really quickly. You can get people on board really quickly, get it started really quickly, so you're not going to lose people's interest. So there's different enemies, or tyrants they call them. So as you decide which ones you're going to bring into the game, that's going to change everything. Just like the game we just talked about in Small Time Heroes is. As you're changing it up, it's going to just change the game because you're going to be fighting different foes throughout the game. Okay, this is a cooperative game, so if you enjoy that, you are probably going to like this game. I really think they say intuitive rules, which makes sense to me. This is learn in 5 minutes. I enjoy a game that just makes sense. The next step makes sense. Okay, and there's no downtime because in the entire game you're engaged. I love that. Is that when you're not kind of waiting, and every turn you're involved in, it just makes for an exciting game that everybody can get into. All right, guys, so here are some of the characters We have Heka, raised by ancient sources. Heka turns pain into power and rage into magic. So her strength grows as her life fades. That's powerful. All right, Thras is a war-hardened hero. This guy looks bad to the bone. He always hits twice. And so what's cool about that is each one of these characters, they're going to have different strengths. They're going to have different weaknesses. So you got to decide what you like. Or if you play random, that of course is a cool way too. Nisa, she is very interesting. I think I may like her the best. So she is born in shadow, shaped by spies. So she moves faster than everybody else, and she kind of lets everybody else be in the limelight, be in the spotlight. All right, the next character here is Damas. He is super cool at long-range attacks. He has control over the battlefield and has the ability to bend lava, ice, and poison to his will. He's pretty powerful. Thalia is awesome because number one, she has an owl. I mean, who wouldn't want that? Okay, number two is she is great at long-term attacks. And she is awesome with her bow and arrow. She never misses. Axios is awesome with the spear. And what's cool about him is his power is really in helping other people. So he is there to help his allies with protection and precision. And you don't want to mess with his spear. He barely misses with that. All right, let's go over how to play this game. So a couple things here. If you enjoy a mythical and fantasy-driven world, which this is, if you enjoy dungeon crawling games and cooperative games, this is probably a game for you and you want to take a look at it. So it's very streamlined. So let's go over it. So number one is you're going to explore and reveal. So you're going to go through these maps. You're going to flip over certain maps as you go to kind of go and to figure out what's going on. Now, when you do this, you're going to run into unexpected dangers. And so that's where you're going to battle. And of course, you're going to have to defeat these enemies and survive. And when you do that, you're going to level up and adapt. So what you're going to get with that is you're going to gain experience. You're going to your characters are going to get stronger, but you're also going to run into different relics and things that you're going to find in this as you're going around the map, and that's going to help you as well to gain stuff. Okay, number four is you're going to outpace the darkness. And so every round, this mythical force is getting more corrupted, and you're going to end up having to outpace the darkness and defeat your enemies before it's too late. And so at the very end, that's going to unleash the tyrant, the evil boss that you have to defeat. And that's what you're going to have to do at the end of the game. Are you willing to do that? Are you able to do that? And very quick, very easy. Just looks like a lot of fun. All right, guys, that was Baktor. This game launches in 3 days. You'll be able to get more information then, cost of the game, base game, the deluxe version, all the other things that they're going to be selling. So check it out, Gamefound. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Next month, we're going to be doing February, so there's probably going to be more games. I'm going to do a Kickstarter and Gamefound edition. So if you guys like this stuff, please subscribe, comment. Is there a game I did not mention that you are interested in? Let me know about that. Or these games here. Are you backing these games? Do you like them? Or anything like that? Just let me know. Other than that, hope you guys enjoy your day, and we'll see you in the next video. And she is great at long-term attacks and her O, as you can, and her O. All right.